Okay, guys, we are back with another episode of Let Me Finish. We are on episode 74. Woo. And we have Michael back.
Woo-hoo, hallelujah. So glad to be back.
I know, we missed him. I was like, oh, Michael, I miss you. Our weekly conversations and our download. I know, because we always download for almost an hour before we start recording.
That's true.
So we had a lot to download this last couple weeks, really.
2 weeks, yeah.
I didn't even ask. Well, we can talk about it later. I was going to ask you how your time with your sister was. And
it was
everything.
Great. It was great. Yeah, she was here for 8 days, and she lives in Nebraska. So
okay.
I haven't seen her in 5 years, and it was good. It was one of those things where it's like, I'll see
you later. I think that happens with family.
And she's gonna listen to this, and it's fine. We're good. If I love you, you know that I love you.
I love you, sis. I think that is how it is when you see family. It's like, well, I don't know. Sometimes it's like, we should do this more often.
Right. And then it's like, but I think we're good.
But it's not, I think it's because it's not a default. Because, I was here for a week and a half when Janice was recovering. And once I knew she was good. And my mom was still here.
So I was
just I need to go home. I'm just I need my me time. Right. I need my alone space. Time. It's nice.
I know.
Especially we're both single, living in an apartment by ourselves. So, we love our mom to death, but we miss that,
she gets private time.
She gets her feeling so hurt, though.
Oh.
But I'm it's totally different. It would be different if we had a house.
Sure. Yeah.
And multiple rooms. Right. She had her own
space.
But we both live in apartments too. So my mom was she's gonna kick me out because I think we got in a fight one little day. I was like, go to Julian's, and I can't believe you said that to me. I was kidding.
I don't mean it literally.
I don't mean it literally. But if you do go to Julian's,
I won't be upset if you do.
But she was like, what are you gonna do? Kick me out as soon as you're healed up? And I was like, but I will say I did actually miss her when she left because it was nice to have somebody every day to come home and talk to, and we would.
Mom.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it.
And actually, when she came over my house. Because I think it was another week before she actually came over. Another week, almost 2 weeks before.
3 weeks where she was at my house, and then we actually did an extra week. Mm-hmm. So she stayed at my house for a month.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah. So when she came over to my house, and it was funny, I was telling my coworkers, I'm like, it's actually nice to have someone waiting for you at home. You come and download your day.
Sure.
How's your day doing? How's your day doing?
Yeah.
And the nice part is she would clean.
Yeah.
So you come home to a clean house.
That's awesome.
She would literally, you have enough clothes to wash? I'm going to do a load. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Here you go.
Okay.
You open up your closet, there's 10 days worth of clothes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That has not happened. She cleaned every bit of clothes I had up in here.
That's great.
I had washed all my clothes before she came because I knew she was going to say something, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, oh God, I was going to say something about her, but I forgot. But anyways, yeah, so she's been I was going to say, and because I was healing, she was even more motherly, and she used to make me all my meals. Breakfast. What do you want for breakfast? Lunch, dinner. When I get home, she'll bring me my water.
Oh,
put my socks on.
That's so sweet.
Well, because obviously I had abdominal surgery, so she didn't want me bending.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, I'm glad
she
was here. I'm glad you had a good time with her.
But yeah, so I think you said it was for her wedding, right?
My sister, no, she was just here because she hadn't been here in so long.
Oh, okay.
And as I've told you quite a few times, we have different dads. So it's kind of weird because whenever she talks to my dad, it's she'll say things like, oh, your dad. And it's oh, right, he's not your dad. Because we're the same mom. But she'll every once in a while, it'll slip, be yeah, I was talking to your dad. And I'm like, why do you have to say it like that?
No, your dad. No, your dad.
So when your parents got together, she was
at the time when my parents got together, she would have been 14.
Oh, okay. So
13,
she didn't really grow up with him.
She had a kid when she was
young.
Yeah, young. She was, yeah.
Oh, we're going, okay, you're going to say the age. It's done. It's done now. She was young.
She's young. What? Sorry.
So did she leave the house after she?
Yeah. She went through a
So let's just say probably very shortly after maybe 2 years, give or take, she ended up moving out of their home.
Yeah. So she
She had a baby young.
Yeah.
Okay, because you said that. I'm just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, she had a baby young.
Very young.
Okay.
Very, very young.
So if they met at 13, 14.
So my nephew is a year younger than me. So
okay.
that's how that works out.
Oh my God. So did the pregnancies overlap at all?
Actually, people ask that all the time, and I don't know the truth. I actually don't know, to be honest.
Not the truth.
What's the
I've been
tea?
told stories.
I want
They're
to know
not always matching up.
Well, I want to know the tea. Because if all tea, all shade, it's fine. It is what it is.
It's kind of like, you ever seen...
Were y'all born at the same time?
Yeah, like, have you ever seen Father of the Bride 2?
Yes, I do like that movie. Yeah.
So, like...
Is that what happened?
They're
Yeah.
pregnant.
Well,
they're
'cause
pregnant at the same time.
They're pregnant at the same time because the daughter ends up getting married. She's having her baby. And then he ends up getting his wife pregnant.
Yeah. She thought she was going through menopause.
Which is
and
crazy.
Like, no, you're pregnant. I'm like, oh my God.
Which is
Imagine
crazy.
starting over.
No, I can't.
That's
even.
crazy.
And we're young. And
But what do you even do? Because,
I
like,
know.
at that point, it's like, bitch, you better have a baby. Like, come on. You done did it. You did it. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, that's a big
That's a
undertaking.
huge thing to have raised your child, have an adult to the point where they're married and they're having their own child, and to have to start back over 18 long years. I'm like,
I will say the best part about having my sister over, and I mean this, I'm not just saying it, like coming home after a long day of work, and she'll just be home, like in the living room, and she'll be like, hey, how was your day? Like, just like you were saying a second ago.
Yeah,
like, there's
yeah,
something
yeah.
really nice about, like, oh my gosh, sister, you're here.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
It's nice. It's like,
Yeah.
it just makes you feel, you know.
And it's not every day,
It's-
so it's
right.
like a change of routine.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, and then she'll be like, you know,
I think that's what it was for me.
it's nice because it's like, she's like, do you want me to do anything for you? And we run some errands. I'm like, girl, just relax. You don't have to do anything. But also,
Oh.
I do have a list.
But also,
if you don't mind,
me picking up those grogroceries. Here's my
And go
list.
ahead, and while you're at, just go ahead and cook it too. You've
Do
got
we,
time.
should we make a menu
I feel
for the week? Should we make a menu?
These are the options you're going to give me.
What do
and
you
I'm
want
gonna
for
pick.
dinner?
Yeah.
And then I can see what
do
I
you
want
wanna
for
ask
dinner.
me? What do you
Yeah, because if you don't mind cooking, that'd be great.
That'd be great.
That'd be
And
great.
also, just go ahead and clean and like do everything.
I'm telling you, they get stir crazy.
Yeah.
I think that she.
I mean, 8 days is a long time, and I think by the 6th day she was like, she didn't show up, but she was that thing of like, do you have anything you need me to do for you? And I was like,
Well, because you want to get back to your routine.
Right. She
like
feels
I
like
think anything,
useless. Like,
yeah, I think anything past a week of vacation's like, all right, ready
yeah,
to go home.
I'm ready to
Yeah.
go home.
Because
Yeah.
even like I don't ever do 7 full days of vacation anymore.
lot,
I
yeah.
think we do like typically 5, and I've done
4 or
3.
5. Yeah.
So yeah, and I think even when we went on a cruise for my friend's bachelorette, and we went to New Orleans first, and then we went to was it a 5-day cruise? Mm-hmm. It was a 5-day cruise. So yeah, it was a long time.
It's a long
I was
time.
definitely like, I'm ready to be home.
yeah. There's
I
some,
could not. Ooh.
Even though when you're on vacation, it
Especially
goes by
'cause it was,
really
like, New
fast.
Orleans.
Sure.
Yeah, it does go by really fast.
Because like really think about the travel day, because I had to fly into New Orleans and then the boat docked from New Orleans. So when we were coming home, like basically you had to dock, you had to deboard the ship, then you had to turn around and get to an airport, then you had to turn around and fly. It was just a long day.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And I was just ready to be home. Oh,
I don't
gosh.
blame you.
But now, actually, I was just thinking I need to make a vacation for next year.
Well, you got your boy here. I've got connections.
Yeah?
So just let me know.
Okay.
Seriously, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I do. I was like thinking about Cayman Islands.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I saw a resort on Real Housewives of Potomac I've been watching,
Uh-huh.
and it looks nice. I
I'm
was
sure it's
like,
beautiful.
okay, and I don't think it's super expensive.
It's
It's like more affordable.
There are ones out there that are more doable. Some of them are like, oh, I can never do that. But some of them, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
doable.
Seems like
I
a
know.
beautiful island.
I ain't
to
no
go
baller,
to.
honey, but I got a little something in
Well,
the
that's good.
bank.
That's good.
But yeah, so that was that. But I mean, so we did a couple episodes. So I did want to kind of pick your brain, Michael.
Sure.
Really quick before we kind of slide into the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Jillian, how was your week?
It was good. I voted today.
Yay.
I voted yesterday.
I saw your picture.
So I
So
went, did my civic duty.
Good for you.
My vote has been registered. Kamala got my vote.
Yay.
So
I'm gonna hold off on saying.
And that's fine.
Just kidding. It was Kamala.
But
It
even
was-
if you,
it was
even if you didn't,
Kamala.
that's totally
Yeah.
cool.
Stop it. I
Yeah.
say Kamala and Colin Allred.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I
Those are
love
the
him.
two
He's
main
great.
ones.
He's great.
two main ones, and then I did. What was the last thing? I think I did finish a book since the last time we recorded. I finished Icebreaker by. Let me see here. Can't remember the name of the author. Hold on.
Jillian, did you say you get all your books from the library? Most of them.
Yes.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
School.
Like that is the best.
Yeah.
You're so cool for doing that.
That's how I was feeling because I wanted to go to the library and get a library card. And I was like, no, it's too much.
Yeah, I told mommy, I'm like, I'll take her because she was out running. I'm like, I'll take her. But yeah, I love getting because you can get ebooks. So sometimes I don't physically like going to the library, and I can still, if they have ebooks, you can check them out. So yeah, it's great. I love it.
That's awesome.
I wanted to go get a membership for the Louisville Library, but
I
wasn't allowed. I had to rest.
That's why I was like, why weren't you allowed?
No, because the first 2 weeks, like I can't drive, but I could do nothing. I could barely breathe. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Just breathing.
So yeah, just had a pretty chill week. Halloween's coming up. It's not my favorite holiday, so
it's coming up. Yeah.
I never dress up for Halloween. So and then of course there's a lady at my job. She loves to scare the shit out of people, and she's like, "Are you ready for your surprise?" I'm like, "What surprise?" Because I don't like surprises.
Don't tell me that.
Because last year she decided that she was going to dress up as the nun from the Nun movie with the.
Oh my God! Lincoln had a mask on yesterday.
She had the whole the nun, the habit, and her face painted. Nobody in my department dresses up for Halloween.
They don't ever do anything for Halloween?
We decorate, but we don't dress up.
There's no contest or nothing?
There is. There's just our apartment doesn't. I don't like to. I've never
wet
done
blankets.
it. We do the candy, we decorate and all that stuff. But as far as dressing up, I don't feel like dealing with that at work.
I get it.
So she's on the other side of me. I have my cubicle and she's on the other side of me, so she's behind a wall. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened. I think either I cut the corner to go see her or she came around the corner to see me. She turned around. I was like, ugh! And I screamed out. I'm just like,
I like watching those TikToks that people getting.
And I was just she just started laughing. Like, girl, why would you dress up like that at work? Really? And I was just like, I don't like that. And then there's a guy who has this little Chucky doll he brings every year.
Oh my God, Chucky's so terrifying.
And he likes to move it around.
I want to beat him up. Stab him a couple times.
And so he'll put him in random places. And when I'm at my cubicle, I will see something out of the corner of my eye, and it creeps me out because I feel like someone's watching me.
He is.
And he's
always watching you,
I turn
honey.
around and it's that fucking Chucky doll.
Yes.
And I was just like,
because
dude,
Michael loves horror.
Dude, keep the doll in one place so I can anticipate it. No, he likes to keep the doll. And he likes to
Don't you move it.
He'll just be at all these random places. I'm like, keep that fucking doll away from me. And then this year there's a cubicle wall right behind me, and he put those pictures that transform from normal, and then if you see from an angle, it looks like they're decomposed and they're skeleton and and I was just like, dude, why do you have to put those pictures up right behind me? Because now I look like I have 20 people fucking looking at me while I'm at work.
So Jillian, does everyone at work hate you, or is
the biggest blanket ever?
When it comes to Halloween, he's
Let's fuck with Jillian.
He goes, no, Jillian, for real. He goes, you don't like him? I'm like, no, I'm honestly not a fan.
No.
And he goes, well, I'll take it down November 1st. I'm like, thanks a lot.
So much. November 1st.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm like, okay, fine. But he has his fun. I'm just like, okay, fine, whatever.
Chucky's
I just
so funny.
Deal with it. I was just like,
and when you go back and watch it, you see his little feet. Anytime you see his little feet just running.
Yeah. Have you seen the first one?
I don't understand how Chucky be getting these people. Chucky be killing the fuck out these people too.
Have you seen the first one?
Yeah, I've seen all of them. Yeah.
Okay.
So I just think it's hilarious that I'm like, every time I've always watched Chucky, I'm like, I could take him.
Yeah. Have you seen the TV show?
He's a doll. I could take him.
I have seen the
TV show. Yeah. You've seen the TV show?
No, I haven't watched the TV show.
Okay.
I think the last one I watched was the one with the little boy.
Yeah. Seed of Chucky?
Yeah, Seed of Chucky.
Yeah.
Especially because at the end of Bride of Chucky, little baby pops
I remember that.
It's comedy.
It is. It's a horror comedy.
Yeah.
It's like a horror comedy.
Yeah.
It's just because I think the first couple they really wanted to just be straight scary,
but they realized it couldn't.
And then later, because I mean, it's like have you ever seen it to where like you see him like somebody on the bed and you see like Chucky's like feet. All you see is Chucky's feet just running. And it's just and it's like pitter patter.
It is. It's like
for real.
And every time there's always a scene where he's trying to like he jumps onto someone and he's like and then. The person's like trying to shake him off, and then he bites him. He's like, "Ow!" And he like puts his hand under, like, "Oh."
Who was the little boy? Timmy? Was it?
I don't remember the name.
What was the name of that boy? Tommy? I don't remember the little boy. That poor little boy got.
I'm telling you,
Tommy got.
Was it Tommy?
Multiple times.
He's a felon.
Child's play.
I mean, I would have imagined.
You know, and his character is actually.
Chucky.
Oh yeah, Chucky is a convicted felon. That's what the whole thing.
Yeah,
is.
he's a convicted felon. But
and he's like in the body of this doll.
Yeah.
I just remember the girl from Seventh Heaven in it. The mom.
Oh,
like
that was in the first one. Yeah. Andy.
Where Andy got fucked up, man.
Yeah, not to be confused with the Andy from Toy Story. That's a different Andy.
No, that's a different Andy.
That Andy's. But
then again,
his dolls were alive.
Yeah.
His toys were alive too. Luckily, those toys didn't want to kill anybody. Except for that one fucking bear.
Yes.
That bear was fucking evil, bro.
Yeah. What's that in the first
bear
one?
and then the old man.
It's the third one.
It's like the third one when they get to the daycare.
But the one
damn evil. I was like, oh my god, this man was leaving. Oh,
I know. Sid is the one with the.
Sid is a psycho,
the
bro.
Psycho. Yeah.
He's the neighbor
blowing up his toys and shit.
Yeah.
Doing experiments and that girl's doll.
That's probably the funniest part of Toy Story. So play nice, like, and he like. So funny.
Still a great movie.
Yeah.
Good old horror movies. Yeah. And so I was gonna tell you because I thought it was hilarious, but of course my best friend's boyfriend, they were dressing up. This is their first Halloween together, so they did a couple's costume. Guess what they did? I was like, okay. So he got a shirt that said Peter Peter, and then put like orange face paint on his mouth.
Pumpkin eater. And
then Lakin was a pumpkin. I was like, oh, okay.
That is so wrong.
You've never heard that saying, Peter Peter? Yeah, yes. Girl, I said Peter Peter. Okay.
Damn.
Okay. And then I'm like, go to this party with her parents. I'm like, oh, okay. And then the crazy part is like I got a video of them because they had a party last night. I just wasn't feeling up to it. But they had a party last night, and of course they dressed up Peter Peter Pumpkin Eater. But then I get a video of Lakin in that little nun's costume or hat, and then she's sitting down. She's like, just give him a little dance. I was like, okay. And her little Peter Pumpkin Eater outfit.
Damn.
I was like, this is getting real questionable.
Yeah, mom and dad are not allowed to see this.
I was like, oh my god, poor mom and
dad were at the party.
Mom and dad were like, yeah,
that's our girl.
That's our baby. Oh, little pumpkin lake. Oh shoot. That's anyway, I just had to say it because I was like, that was probably like, I would not have thought about that. I was like, oh, okay.
I dated a guy during 2009 when Britney Spears was at a dark stage, and he went out he was dressed as a cloud, and people were like, "What are you? You're a cloud?" And he was like, "I'm Britney Spears' clouded judgment." And so he had
Justin Timberlake one is that?
No, one of my exes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Britney Spears' clouded judgment.
Clouded judgment. Like her clouded judgment being like her misgivings, like her bad choices.
All of her bad choices just in a cloud.
That's what in a clouded judgment. You know, when your judgment is cloudy. Yeah. I was like
clouded.
Yeah.
Poor Britney.
Damn. Britney was going through it that
was the shavy head year, so that was shaved. So.
I think everybody should have realized that she clearly had mental issues at that point.
Yeah.
Nobody just goes and shaves their head for shits and gigs.
No,
especially the way she did it.
Yeah. No,
but she no longer has to pay child support to Kevin Federline.
What?
She doesn't have to pay child support anymore. Her youngest just turned 18.
Oh,
she ain't got to pay child support no more.
I didn't know that.
You know, sometimes they be extending that shit.
That's true.
No, it's
done. They said it was done. That's good for her.
Good for her, because
she paying for other people.
So Kevin had to go get a real job.
No more rapping.
Listen, you know what? I don't think Kevin was the villain in all of this. He actually ended up raising those boys and did a good job.
Yeah.
They seem like good kids. Yeah.
So I will say, and then he never wanted her not to see the kids. That was the dad.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, Janice. Yeah.
So I Kevin Federline, he did what he did.
He's a little weird,
he cheated on his pregnant girlfriend. He did do that. Mm-hmm. But as far as like how I feel like he treated Brittany, I don't think he treated Brittany poorly.
And he, like
she seemed to love
him. He took care of the kids.
And she had nothing bad to say about him in her book.
That's good.
So
it
was just Justin. That one everybody loves. That bastard. Golly.
Yeah.
So disappointing. Justin's so really disappointing to me.
So disappointing.
Very disappointing.
Very problematic.
I'm just like, just a typical entitled asshole.
Just to think, his career,
and because he fine too.
Yeah. And just to think his career launched because of him not addressing the cheating rumors through his song.
He did it on purpose. Yeah.
And I was just like, and then when I read in the book, he
exploited her.
I've been caught him twice cheating on me before that even happened. I said, oh.
I would have always thought that.
And so he cheated on you twice. That's the 2 times she caught him. Who knows how many times he cheated?
Well, of course.
I was just like, so this whole time she cheated back, and then now you're like.
Now I don't know if I believe Brittany and her. I never had sex with him, but hey.
Never sex with who?
Wade. She said she just kissed him. I was like, maybe not, but maybe.
Well,
I mean, that was the rumor I heard, is that they kissed. I didn't.
No, I heard they had sex, definitely. I heard it was an ongoing affair, is what the rumor was.
Like I said,
so
even if she was.
What I'm not going to do is just believe everything that comes out of Brittany's mouth and think that everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie.
Sure.
So you don't think Justin cheated before?
I do.
Okay.
No, I do.
I'm
just saying, I don't think Brittany was completely 100% truthful in her book. But
here's the thing, and this is the thing, I wouldn't have cared if you screwed his brains out every day up until y'all broke up. I'd be like, you know what? I say, you know what? You teach me how to move in this relationship. So if you're cheating, shit, I can cheat too. Yeah. Brittany was cute.
Yeah, I don't agree with. I don't think anybody should be cheating. But break up.
That's how I see it.
Break up.
But I know what you're saying.
But you know what I'm saying?
Like, 2 wrongs don't make a right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, if you cheat on me, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna sit in the relationship and just keep cheating.
This how we moving?
Yeah. Bet. But
so you would stay in that relationship?
I would cheat back, then break up.
Stay.
I cheat back. I'll say I'm gonna get my leg back.
I said, so what? So it depends on if there's money to be had in the relationship.
Here's the thing.
I mean, to be fair, if there was some money there, I might stick around a little longer than I normally would. To be fair, to be 100% transparent.
I guess what I'm saying, I'm a petty bitch. I'm gonna get my leg back.
I'm gonna get it back with spit. I'm gonna in your teeth.
Yeah, because honey. Because for him to be like, oh hell no, he pretty much threw underneath the bus once he found out about Wade. So those other times I was okay. So you expected her to sit around, be cheated on. She forgave you. You did it again. And then all of a sudden, you paint her as, So
again, I don't think 2 wrongs don't make a right. So
no. Here's
Brittany
the thing.
Wasn't necessarily justified in cheating,
but it's how they reacted after. So
yeah, I think he was wrong. He exploited her.
When you cheated, I didn't put our business out. Make you look like the bad guy. So I would think you would reciprocate the same way and put it out there that I cheated as well. Even after she continued to protect him. And I think that's what makes Justin the bad guy in this situation. And not necessarily Brittany. It's just I protected you when you did this to me multiple times. I protected you and you didn't see fit to do the same and protect me in return. That I think is what's so underhanded and nasty about what Justin did.
I mean, he cheated. That's actually not it's the way he exploited her.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he used their relationship and their breakup to catapult his career.
Yes. Yeah.
The cheating, I'm like,
it is what it is.
Y'all cheated, whatever, but you definitely left things very vague, not clear.
Intentionally.
And you intentionally use a story to catapult your career.
Yes.
As far as him cheating, I'm not about that. As far as he should give her the same respect. I mean, he didn't respect her in the relationship, so why would he respect her outside of the relationship?
Yeah.
I don't think he would do that either.
Said, all of it. Just how he handled the whole situation post breakup, I think it was dirty and that's why I think that's what people have a problem with him. and why he was, like I said, putting the business out there as a means to catapult your own solar
I don't
career.
think he would have put out their business had he not wanted to catapult his career. It was all about him and what it could do for him. That's what bothers me. Yeah. Same thing with the whole Janet thing. Like, because I'm not gonna speak on it because y'all ain't talking about me. So I'm gonna let everybody else just take the heat. Like he just does things just for his sole gain. So that's the part I just don't care for him anymore.
Yeah, me too.
And doesn't seem to take accountability either. So because he never took accountability for Janet. He never took. I mean, even the drunk driving incident. Yeah, never took accountability for that.
Never apologized.
Never apologized. So I'm just like, you're just entitled. So he's just kind of a jerk to me at this point.
I'm with you.
But Michael, I wanted to quickly ask you before we truly move on to our new topic about Diddy, because I mean we had a whole discussion about it before you were able to join us again. So what's your take on the whole Diddy thing?
So I've been watching on YouTube videos here and there about like updates, and I have to say I genuinely don't know if all of it is what I've seen is accurate. So I err on the side of like, well, how do we know that? Because when things get blown up like this, people are like, oh yeah, and also he liked to fuck whales, and it's like, it's like
they kind of add more
stuff,
and more.
You know what I mean? So I'm like,
gas to the fire,
right? And it may be true, or maybe it's not true. So everything I've heard just seems to be that he's a really rotten person.
It's getting more and more exaggerated. I don't know, because at first it was his parties, and his parties were nasty, and there were date raping women, and
trafficking.
Now it's like and now it's trafficking women, and then it was molesting, coercion. Now it's molesting
little
children.
Too,
now it's molesting little boys, and I'm like, oh God, what didn't you do?
There's a lot going out there, and because it is a federal case, unfortunately, we won't get cameras inside the courthouse, but you can see transcripts, and of course there will be media in the courtroom that will probably sum up the court case every single day. Okay. So I mean, the case I think is scheduled to either start between February and May of next year.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So he's going to be in jail for a hot minute. Wow. And I think that we had discussed this, and I said that really the only people I feel sorry for are the actual victims, and then his kids. And I felt like, damn, you're going to be painted in the same brush as your father, and you had nothing to do with that. Yeah, I do think so.
You think people are going to think that his sons are traffickers?
Not even his sons, his daughters, just the family as a whole.
The tarnished name.
The tarnished name.
I thought you were held accountable for things he was doing. I was like, oh,
yeah, no, it's a tarnished last name. It's just like nobody wants.
As opposed, it was this great last name before.
Yeah,
it was at least looked up to a status of a name for sure.
And so that's kind of ripped from you. So there's that, and so. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah. And I don't know what the feds are doing, but they're locking up people left and right. So the former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch,
I saw that
he was arrested too. But they've been rumors about him for a very long time.
I didn't know that
about him and trafficking young men.
Yes,
and so if anyone ever watched the Abercrombie and Fitch documentary on Netflix, that is something that has been swirling around him about this very bad behavior. In fact, that's part of the reason why I think, if I remember correctly, part of the reason why they wanted him to step down as CEO, because of all these rumors are, running around about him, and they finally, because of so many things that have been going on, people were saying that maybe that was one of the people that Diddy snitched on. And that's why I'm like, no, I don't think that's true, because I feel like Diddy just got arrested. It hasn't been that long. But for them to go and arrest him, the feds probably been on him for months, if not years, before they decided to finally arrest him. So for them to bring sex trafficking charges against him, so
crazy.
it's something that, a case that wouldn't have just came out of
nowhere, right?
Yeah. And if Diddy did give somebody up, like I said, it would have taken a lot longer for them to move, because they have to corroborate it. It's not enough for Diddy to say something. They have to go and corroborate it. So that would have taken months. So this must have been something they've been working on for a very long time. So I'm glad they're kind of snatching out these guys and
these bad people.
Yeah, so
I think this is definitely the century or the decade where they're getting all these crimes.
It's the era. Yeah,
you are whatever dirt you done had, things that you're doing in the dark, or a lot of it's coming to light.
The truth, yeah.
Well, and you look back at Kevin Spacey. I don't know how many years ago that was now. It's been a while. But, only now is he kind of like, I've paid my time. I mean, I'm putting words in his mouth. I've done my time. I've been shunned by the world, allow me to come back into your home.
It's so hard
like, you're
because
just icky.
But it's so hard with that because it's like that's the idea, right? It's rehabilitation. That's the point of it. And you are supposed to have paid a certain amount of time, and you are so technically supposed to be welcome back into society. But people don't want them. But how do you just forget that somebody was capable of something like that?
Right. And he never went to jail. And I read there were so many people that he would fondle, just full on grab them.
Oh my God.
And not care. And,
so I'm watching Real Houses of Potomac, which again, this is many seasons ago because I've been catching up in my healing stage. So, but there's this guy on there who's this rich businessman, and he is repeatedly accused of grabbing people's butts.
Really?
And I'm like, and they're like, he didn't do it. I was like, when 7 people say that he grabbed a butt, like he probably grabbed a butt. And you're thinking it's a quick little, let me see, because the big incidents that came out is that he grabbed the cameraman's butt and he told him, don't do that. And he goes, all right, okay, no problem, man, is what he said. But then he's like, oh, I bumped into him. I'm like, so why did you say, oh, okay, no, the way he said, okay, no problem, man. Like he was testing the waters to see.
Of course he was.
Are you going to take my advance, or is this something we can kind of later? Because I think back in the day it was something where you would do those kind of things, and that's how you would figure out if somebody was gay too. That wasn't like outwardly gay, right. And it was like this hush behind the door thing, right? But in this, time and place that we are in our society, you can't just fondle people once and see where it goes.
That's not how this works.
So yeah, he ended up getting the guy he did file charges, and it ended up getting dismissed because there's no eyewitnesses or anything. But I'm just like, you can't just be grabbing people. And it's just like I feel like he just feels entitled to it.
That's what I'm saying. It's just so icky.
It's just an entitlement.
I think they all feel these people that were, Kevin Spacey, Diddy, whoever.
This man.
Yeah, whatever.
Michael Darby.
Yeah, whoever is, doing these things. I think they have a sense of entitlement and they can do whatever they want and I'm going to get away with it. And I think the more that people are held responsible,
the more people who would do it will see that there are consequences for these actions.
Have you noticed there's such a thing now as the anti-apology? For example, I'll give you an example.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Ellen DeGeneres refuses to. She says, she didn't say verbatim, but she basically said in so many words, like, I've been, chastised. I've been, like Scarlet A on me,
because I've heard she's rude to people.
And it's been for years, people have been saying this. I actually had a friend that worked on her show and said she's a total monster. This was years ago.
That's crazy that she has such a different image to the public eye before then.
No, apparently she's rude. She doesn't know anybody's name. She snaps at people. She says, like, she literally be like, you, take that over there. And it's like, what? Like, very.
I didn't think you were talking to me because I'm not a dog.
I'm not. Yeah.
I just assumed you were talking to somebody else.
Because I know you were not. You were not talking to me.
My name's Janice.
Yeah.
So thought you were talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
That accepts that behavior.
Yeah. No. So, but anyways, my point is, she had just had a special. I don't know if you saw a clip of it or anything, but there's one moment where she said, "Yes, I'm." What did she? I can't think of the words she used. It was something along the lines of, I have high standards. Yes, I'm demanding. Yes, I'm yes, I'm this. Yes,
a perfectionist.
Right. And then she goes, yes, I'm a woman. And then everyone's like, whoa, because she was putting at this terrible angle of like, so I'm so difficult because I'm a woman, right? You would have said this if I was a man. But it's the way she did it was so tactless. Gross. I didn't like it at all.
I completely agree with you in the sense that, like, if you're going to apologize. And if you're a horrible person, just own it.
That's what I'm saying.
And move on. But I do think that there is a double standard.
Of course.
Of when women are harsh in a work setting versus men. Harsh, not even passionate.
Right.
Because it tends to be that women are said to be aggressive, especially black women. Yes, aggressive, argumentative.
Emotional.
Right. Instead of passionate, firm,
hardworking,
firm. Like what I'm saying is what I mean. Like so, I do, but I feel like she took that narrative to spin it to make it benefit her.
That's what it seems like, and
so that's what makes it icky.
She's just known for being a
too
bitch.
Many people are saying this at this point, so I'm like,
and even celebrities, there are YouTube videos on.
And I don't think it's a coincidence that she worked. Twitch worked on her show for so long. It ended up, he had his mental issues, and I'm sure, like, who knows what kind of abuse he was taking on that show.
She was definitely not an easy person to work with. And Dakota Johnson was on her show. She was one of many people that are like, yeah, Ellen, I
did invite you.
Yeah, I love that video. That video is iconic, and the way she said it, she was so.
She's like, Ellen, I did. I did. She kind of laughed it off. I did invite you. Be like, she goes, like, you ain't gonna spend this shit on me, honey. Not for this.
She goes, I don't remember it like that. And she's just like, okay. And I was just like,
it was so
that's not how it goes.
But I lived for it. That smile,
smirk on her face, like I did. You want receipts, honey? I'll pull them up. It's like almost like she was ready, honey.
And it got to the point where she was like, Ellen, I'm serious, and she's like, oh, okay, and then she's like.
Yeah, and then Pauly D, and that's the thing, because Pauly D said that he was the one person that he actually followed outside of, he said that one day would be his girlfriend, which now he follows her and his girlfriend. But I'm just like, I think he ended up unfollowing her after all of that, though.
Oh, he did? Okay.
So I'm just like, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, so we're gonna take a little bit of a little breaker, give you guys time to grab your coffee or get into your building if you're listening to this on your way to work, which is what I do for my podcast, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. So we actually wanted to talk a little bit. We had a couple conversations, and we want to talk about like friendships, right? And people that you bring into your life that sometimes may no longer serve you in a positive way, and deciding to break away from those friendships. I think, of course, we talk about relationships all the time, but I think it's the same thing with friendships are relationships too, right?
Right.
So you treat them the same way, I feel like, in some ways. Like, don't be obsessed with me. As a relationship, right? So it's a give and take road. So sometimes I feel like, especially as you get older, you realize like, hey, you know what? This friendship is no longer serving me.
Right.
This is no longer a positive source in my life.
Right.
This is more of a draining relationship than a positive one. And I do think it's everybody's right to decide to leave friendships.
Absolutely.
I've done it myself, right? But the thing about it is, I do have conversations before I do that. I don't just cut you out. You don't know what you did.
Right.
And I do think that's immature.
Yeah.
I think it's immature if you've had a friendship for a certain amount of time and you really feel like this friendship is no longer serving you. I do think there should be a communication of that and a bit of closure for the other person too. Because if you're the one leaving the friendship or the relationship, they deserve closure.
I agree.
And especially to understand what they were doing in that friendship to no longer allow it to grow.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't necessarily cut it off after one conversation. Yeah. If I saw growth, if I saw that person was changing, I might decide to allow that friendship to grow into a new friendship. But I think that's basically what you would have to do. Is it can't be the same friendship you had with that person. It needs to be a whole different relationship.
Yeah, from scratch.
I've had friends that have just been ultimately selfish in the friendship and just not given what they didn't put in the same type of effort that I put in. And I'm not saying just FaceTime and let me talk to you all the time, but like if somebody needs something, if they need you to be there for them, I do think those are those moments you show up for friendships.
Absolutely.
So that doesn't mean, again, because I'm not a big phone talker, but I'll answer your phone call, right? And I will be there to talk you through whatever. I will be there to give you advice. I will be there to just listen,
support,
whatever you need from me. But yeah, you're gonna probably have to ask.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna just be like, I have all this time in the world to be
Right.
like, hey, how's it going? Are you okay?
Right.
How are you feeling? So I do think it's also our responsibility to say in those friendships what we need.
Absolutely. Agree. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. I think when it comes, I mean, any friendship or any relationships, I think there's some that are going to be lifetime friendships, and there are others are just, they have their season.
Yeah.
And we've discussed this before where, sometimes you just outgrow people.
Yeah.
Maybe you're at different levels, but different places in life, or
Stages,
want
yeah.
different, stages in life. Or maybe hey, this isn't, you have friends that I feel like sometimes some people you realize, hey, they're not really my friend, because you have friendships where one person is always taking and you're never they don't reciprocate back to the other person. And I've heard people say, I thought these people were my friends, but I was the one that was always reaching out, planning things, doing everything, and they realize if they don't
Put the effort
in,
the other person, you'll go, and I'm like, I'll go weeks, months without talking to this person.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna chime in. So, because I do think you should meet people where they're at too. Because I'm not really a planner. I don't really do it's not really my style. But you've also, and I get it. And if I'm no longer the friend that serves you because that's what you kind of things you want to do, and you don't feel like I'm a friend to you because of that,
then cut me out.
then you can cut me out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or give me an opportunity to try and make that effort, you know? But yeah, I do think, because I know for me, I am definitely more of a friend that I'm not necessarily like, that's how I show my friendship is by going and doing things every month or 2 months. So that's just a
different relationship. Right. What I'm talking about, it was a Reddit thread that I read where this person had a group of friends, and I think they had a party at his house, and he went somewhere, and I guess whatever room he went, they were doing something in the backyard, and he went into a room inside the house where he could hear what they were talking about on the patio from inside the room, because I guess the window was open. And they were actually talking really bad about him, and they were like, he's such a loser, he's so weird, this, that, and the third.
Why would you even be friends with him if you think about it that way?
They were using him because there was a nice place to hang out, and he would would put in all the effort, and he realized these people aren't, to have that realization when you hear them talking about you get that realization, these people really aren't my friends.
Like, get out. Get out right now.
And he didn't, and what he did is just like
hard.
Yeah.
He just went, dried his tears, and went back to the party.
It's on Reddit?
It's on Reddit.
Okay.
And where he was just like, what happened is that I just stopped reaching out. I started inviting them to my home. I stopped calling, texting, and most people, if they're your friends, be like, "Hey, I haven't heard from you in a while.
If you
What's
had,
going on?"
With them.
And what happened is that they never reached out. They never called him, reached out. They went months without ever even attempting to contact him.
Wow.
And then he's like, when I realized, okay, I was putting all this effort into friendships that was one-sided.
Yeah.
And luckily, when they did an update, he goes, "What I did was I went and found new friends that liked him for him, and he was able to make new friends and find a new friendship group." But I'm just like, man, you're that's wasting your time on. Like I said, that's why I say you have to be careful. You want people who will pour into you as much as you pour into them.
Yeah.
And I think that's still important. Right.
And I think if my friend, is saying to me, hey, this is how you can show me that you're invested in this friendship, and that is making an effort to hang out with me, then I'm gonna make that effort.
Right.
But I also have friends like my high school best friend Courtney. Like, we will talk like once a year, but when we talk, it's like no time has passed. Like, or she'll come here. But yeah, so I do think, if you have an understanding with the friendship, it's totally different. But yeah, it sounds like with that particular situation, y'all didn't like him anyways. Like, I'm not kicking it with nobody I don't like for what.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who do.
Yeah. That's because
they feel like
shady. Like, for what?
Yeah, it is shady.
Because like I said,
if I have a problem with a friend, you gonna know.
Because it was they were using him for his resources. So there was a night, because he would plan these things, and they would have this really great place to hang out and have parties and get together, which the other group, they all liked each other. Mm-hmm. It was just like, hey, we can use him for this get together and just ignore him. So
right.
Yeah, he said that they would always come late and leave early. That was another thing too. Whenever that he would have something, it was almost like sometimes you like, hey, I'm just not feeling this, move on, instead of telling him to his face. I think he did the right
thing. Like, I would just exactly that, just gone ahead and just, let me just not invite you and see if you reach out, you do. If you don't,
not then you're not invited. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, well, no, because he heard them talking shit. So that's a wrap.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. That's a complete wrap on the friendship.
Honestly,
for
me, I would have
like, y'all go ahead and go.
Yeah.
Y'all can go. So I'm up here listening to y'all. Y'all can go ahead and leave my home right now. So if y'all think I'm so weird,
terrible.
y'all can head out.
Yeah.
I was gonna say though, and it's something where maybe you guys were closer at a certain point, right?
Yeah.
But as I feel like as we grow as people, because nobody stays the same. None of us stay the same. But I think as we grow as people, we realize that that some people don't grow at the same level as you.
Nope.
Yeah.
At the same rate as you.
Yeah.
Or in the same direction as you.
Same path, yeah.
I think me and Michael are actually a pretty good example of a friendship that's lasted since we were 10 years old, right? And it's not like me and Michael haven't gone years without talking,
right.
And then reestablish their friendship or reestablish like communicating, right, or hanging out,
right.
But I feel like at any point where we've done that, we've always kind of gone right back to
100%. No time
where
has
we
passed.
were.
No time has passed. There's no awkwardness
there's
at all.
There's an understanding of our friendship, like of what it means to us, and I think because like even when we weren't doing the podcast, we would even do like it'd be a while, but we'd be like, let's go have lunch.
Yes,
let's go have dinner. Let's go have a drink. Let's catch up.
Yeah.
We would definitely make time to do that kind of thing, but it would be like, sometimes it would be Michael would reach out.
Sure.
Sometimes it would be me, but somebody would reach out.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a forever thing. And I think, and then me and Michael have been able to watch each other grow into completely different people.
Of course, yeah.
That we were when we were 10. I actually sent him a video or a picture of us the other day.
I know.
When it was like we were literal babies. I think we were like 19 in the picture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
In the group
Isn't
chat.
that crazy?
So sweet to see that. I was like, but
like,
it's Janice is one of those friends, and this is just me gonna harp on how much I love Janice, but Janice is one of those few people. In fact, I can't think of another person, not one other person besides you, that I would drop everything and meet you. If you're like, I'm in Kentucky, I miss you, come visit me. Okay. Let me look at the flights. I would do it.
Really?
Because our friendship goes that far back.
Yeah.
When friendships are that like rooted in stone, you don't make that up. It's set. Like it's set. It is what it is. So,
and I think because I think we have passed those barriers of, is this friendship going to just disappear, float away, or are we going to make an effort to make sure we stay in connection?
And we made the decision.
Because it is a decision, because it's easy because, we knew plenty, like quite a few people around the same time where we were friends with them too. And then those friendships eventually just kind of tapered off.
Yeah.
I don't hate them.
Yeah.
I care for them.
Yeah.
I wish them the best. I hope their lives are going amazing. And when I see positive things, I cheer for them.
Sure.
When I see them struggling, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm so, I say, I give my
root for them.
condolences.
Right.
So, but I've never been like, oh, like, I want to talk to you. I want to get on the phone with you. I want to go hang out with you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not saying that can't ever come back around. That's the thing with friendships, is it could still come back around.
Right.
Friendships are ever evolving.
100%. Yeah.
And I think also now with social media, because people can share as
you feel
little
like you
as
stay
much.
connected with people.
Yeah, you
That's
can.
true.
I can know what's going on in someone's life, even though we may not be talking.
Sure.
I'm gonna
That's so true.
And so there's a way to kind of still stay up on what's going. Oh, so and so got married. So and so had a baby. So and so graduated college.
Right.
Someone got their master's. Oh my gosh, your dad passed away. You can still stay on top of those major life milestones throughout someone's life, and be able to reach out real quick. And I think that has been, one of the positive things of social media. You can still have that connection with someone.
I do feel that it gets a little sometimes, and it never happened with me and Michael, but I do think it's kind of awkward sometimes when you lose touch with somebody and it's not like you have any ill will towards them, but that friendship you had isn't necessarily like you have to rebuild it again.
It's the thing. Yeah,
it's a rebuilding because you have to get to know them again.
Yes, it's a process
because it's like a whole different person that they are now. I mean, they weren't the same person they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right? So I'm like, it's so true.
It's work, yeah. But if you, at the end of the day, I think if you want to do it, you'll do it. If it's worth your time, if it's worth spending time with the people you want to spend time with, then
yeah, absolutely. Because friendships are just as hard as romantic relationships. And if you don't put in the work,
what are you doing?
Yeah, it's not gonna flourish anyway. So
that's what I'm saying. And I don't think any people don't keep putting much into something they don't feel like they're gonna get out. Like get out of it, So, and then I think is because people will hold you back too. Yes. Some friends, I mean, we know about the famous frenemies, some people that just kind of wish you ill will. And sometimes you meet somebody, you think they're going to be this great friend to you. Yeah. And I've had that a couple times in the last couple of years. Right. And as what I've seen is those people are like wishing my downfall.
They're your biggest op.
They're actually so hoping for me to fail instead of succeed.
Pretty sad.
And it is sad, and it's especially sad when you hear those kind of things, and you take it with a grain of salt when you hear this from other people, but at the same time you can feel that kind of stuff.
Oh, of course.
But I also think when it comes to friendships that you need how can I say this without sounding mean?
Ooh, Julie,
I feel like sometimes when it comes to friendships, like I said, we're talking about friendships that serve you. If you are leveling up, sometimes you're going to have to leave some friends behind.
Yeah, because it's a jealousy.
It's not even a jealousy thing. It's just like, I think, like I said, stone sharpens... sharpens you.
You are the people you surround yourself with.
You are. Thank you so much. That's exactly what I was trying to say. So sometimes, like, you want to, like, if you see yourself in a certain position, sometimes you need to make friends with a person in that circle to help motivate you. Because if everyone around you is not interested in leveling up, then sometimes you will get like be complacent and stay in that same place because there's no one around you pushing you, holding you accountable. Right. It's nice to have that. Yeah. And sometimes, you need different, you can have different circles of friends, and sometimes you need those friends who have elevated and make friends with those people because sometimes that's so some true. People in those circles will be able to pull you up and then also be able, hey, this is what worked for me. This may work for you. Give you that advice. And sometimes that's what you need. And then there are other friends who aren't interested in that. And those friends you may have to let go because they're going to drag you down and keep you complacent and keep you stuck in a place that maybe you don't want to be.
I'm curious, Jillian, do you have you experienced a friend that you had to like not break up with, but sort of like, hey, we need to have a talk, and without mentioning names, of course, have you had to have a conversation like that where it's like, I feel like we're sort of, not meeting, we're kind of falling apart. Do we want to continue this, or do you just sort of let it be and then let it?
It's one of those things where I'm afraid to say that it's kind of like, we kind of let it be and it just falls apart. Yeah. And I don't think I've already actually sat down and had the conversation with that friend. And so it's kind of like, okay, I guess it just didn't, it is what it is. It didn't work out. Yeah.
I feel like it was almost like, I'm thinking of a particular friendship for you. That it was just like one of those things, I won't reach out and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think it is. There's been friendships where I've realized, unfortunately,
they were sucking from you instead of giving.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And where I realized, okay, they
came around when they needed you.
Exactly. And I felt like, okay, so they're only interested in what's going on with me when they need something.
Sure.
And at that point, I was just like, I'm not interested in. This isn't serving me, and I don't want to be used, and so I kind of just I didn't.
Sometimes you even let that phone ring, honey.
We don't have that we didn't have that conversation, but it's one of those things where I was just like, okay, I'm gonna fall back, and let that go, because I see what's going on
here. And
they
didn't show you anything different.
Well, you're a really good friend, and you're one of those people that people will be lucky to call you like their best friend. So I'm glad to hear that you don't just sort of allow people to
once I clocked it and realized, I'm like, oh, so okay, no, this isn't
reciprocated.
This isn't real.
Yeah.
And I want a real friend, someone that, when I'm having a bad day, they'd be like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm so sorry to hear that. And, I mean, my two friends that I have, when Janice was going through all her stuff, I mean, they knew she was going through the surgery, and one of my friends, she's asking me, so how did it go? And I completely broke down.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, it did. I said, look, it's not as bad as it could have been, but it wasn't the news we wanted.
Sure.
And I broke down. I started crying, and I'm like, I don't know how.
Oh, Jill, don't cry.
I'm gonna support her.
Yeah.
She,
Oh, you did though. You did. You did an amazing job.
But it was nice to tell somebody I'm struggling.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And she said,
and somebody for you to be able to have as an outlet to support you.
Absolutely.
And because I think when you're the person supporting somebody going through something, hard, and I'm going through hard things for sure, and you're the person that they're going to, and you feel like I'm the support system, so I can't break down or I can't be vulnerable. Yeah, it's good to have other support systems outside of that to be like, to regain strength, to kind of be recharge.
Yes.
When you have those conversations with them.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you have that friend, and
Amen.
When she was supportive and she offered advice.
She was just like, it's like, I don't know what to do either. And she's just like, all she could say is like, if you need anything, let me know. And to be able to express it and be like, hey, this is, I mean, I couldn't sleep. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And she's just like, you need anything, let me know.
Right.
And to be
Call
able
me anytime,
to work through and talk about my feelings with someone. It was a safe place to talk about how I was feeling.
That's great.
Yeah.
And she would always, are you doing okay? How's your sister doing? How you guys handling it? And it was nice too. And she was the kind of person that, once I kind of wrapped my brain around things and things got back to normal, that I was able to, she'd be the first person to make me laugh, and
good.
Oh, good.
I hear that.
It was just one of those things.
Meet her.
In fact, she was the one that actually pushed me and my other friend to go do our workout classes, because I was motivated by her, and she invited us, hey guys, come, I like this class, I think you guys will like it too. And we're like, it's nice to have someone who's kind of like
helping
travel the path, and to be like, hey, I've done it.
It was hard, but come with me.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I'm like, girl, thank you so much, because I absolutely love these classes, and
that's amazing.
I know I've seen such a growth or journey with that for you. It's so great.
So to have that growth, and she's a part of that, and right now she's going through something really tough. She had a sudden loss, and I'm like, girl, if you need anything, let me know.
Yeah,
because I'm. Yeah. And it just happened, so I feel so bad for her, and I was just like,
life's a bitch.
Yeah, it's one of the things where she, she had me when I had to break down and cry, and she broke down and cried. I'm like, girl, I'm right here. If you need a shoulder to cry on, let me know. So, there's those are the friendships that I want to nourish and continue, and
those are the ones you should
pour into. The older I've gotten, I've learned discernment as far as what is worth my time and my energy and my, because, unfortunately, if you keep pouring into other people that don't pour back into you, you end up being empty.
Drained,
you're draining, end up empty.
You end up finding yourself as an empty cup.
Yeah.
I've learned that sometimes people have more in common than you even realize. This is probably TMI, but I'm going to share it anyway.
Never.
Last year, I attempted suicide, and I obviously, thankfully, was not successful. I got scared, and so it didn't happen, thankfully. And I didn't mean for it to come out, but I told my boss. We were talking. She and I were talking, and we were sitting down, and I was telling her about some of my grievances with working so much and how it's really affecting my mental health and all this stuff. And out of nowhere,
this is recent.
This was 2 days ago.
Oh wow! This conversation.
This conversation was just 3 days ago. And we're about the same age. I think she's like a couple years older than me. And I told her this, And then immediately I just lost
You never know when it's going to hit you, man.
And that's just it. I didn't plan on telling my boss that I attempted suicide last year. That was not something that I planned on sharing for anybody, especially not on a podcast. Sorry, guys. But anyway.
I think it's, we'll definitely add some stuff for... to go to if you guys are struggling.
Yeah,
keep going, Michael.
The only reason I'm saying any of this is because she then shared something with her. She had a similar situation as well, and she started crying. And and so she said, I'm so sorry. And she literally grabbed my hand, and then I was crying, and she grabbed my whole body and was holding me as I was sobbing. This is my boss.
Oh my gosh.
She doesn't have to do any of this. It was incredible.
That is amazing, and I'm glad that she had the ability to do that for you and with you, because as in the position that I'm in, I do have a lot of people come to me and talk about their struggles and things like that. And it is like another piece of like these types of jobs where people are thinking, all you do is make a schedule and write people up, but really you're a sounding board for a lot of people's struggles, because some people go home to nobody.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? So some people like work is their place.
It's escape.
It's their escape. So that's why I personally try to make like the environment I have people working in a positive one and a happy one, and because you just never know what people are going through at home. And so and then when you have a moment like that with one of your, like you said, employees, it's like, this is now, you're not just a number to me anymore. You're a person. And I see somebody struggling, and I'm going to help them through this.
And in whatever way I can.
And in whatever way I can.
I don't expect her anything,
and sometimes it's just hearing me. Just understanding where I'm coming from.
That's all it is.
Right. And then maybe treading different, because you manage everybody differently.
And
I have a different relationship with every rep.
And if she didn't have that information, maybe she would have approached me like, maybe Michael doesn't like this. And it's like, well, no, there's a reason.
But I'm struggling. And I'm glad you're able to
articulate,
communicate that with her. That's very important, because if I heard somebody say that to me too, and then they started breaking down, it would be the same reaction. It's like,
it's a human being.
Geez, like they're. Oh no. And I'm telling you, because some of these, I'm not going to get into that. But some, I've had other people where I'm just like, really, this is what we're upset about?
Other people are really struggling.
Like there are real struggles out here.
Right.
So, and I'm not here to tell people what the struggles are and what you should actually care about, but it's just sometimes when the juxtaposition of certain things are just like, really? Okay. Spilled your coffee. So sorry. Like, fuck your day. So and speaking of work, so it's funny because you said that, because friendships in work, I wanted to actually bring that part in.
That's tricky,
because we're at work more times than we're at home with our real friends, right? Real or developed friendships, not real. So I try to, and there's this somebody I mentor, and he asked me like all these questions, and sometimes I consistently tell him, are they your friend? You keep saying friend. Are they your friend though? Because at work it is tricky. You meet people sometimes for all of a few months and they're gone again. So it's like, you need to take these friendships for what they are, face value, until you build something deeper.
Couldn't agree more.
Because so many people are like, oh, that's my friend, I can't believe they did that to me. I'm like, you never know, especially at work, when people are trying to step on your back to get to the next level, or throw you on the bus to get that, what they, get in the good graces of this person or that person. So I'm like, be careful on what you divulge to people, what you vent to people, because a lot of times they end up using those type of things against you.
They really do.
And I have been a victim of it. For sure. And because I'm such a I kind of give people a chance, and then you have to like do something, and then I kind of I'm like, oh fuck, you fucked me over, and I was somewhere where it was just like a consistent thing. It was like, and it made me feel like I should change as a person. Like maybe I should change how I'm doing things. But then I had to go back and think about it. No, how I've done this in the past has never affected me, because I am a truthful person. I am honest with my feelings, and I do call bullshit when it's bullshit. Like, so I don't think I should change that.
Yeah. No, it's a great quality.
So I'm like, so I would be like, so just, but I know because of that experience, I'm going to be more cautious of who I allow in to any type of friendship with me. Like, we can be acquaintances.
Yeah.
We can be cool.
Yeah.
But as far as like kicking it, talking for real, telling you about my family,
right.
that's going to be reserved for sure.
The actual people.
Well, yeah, I think absolutely. And especially when there's a power dynamic there, when you maybe a subordinate with a boss.
Right.
You can get friendly with the boss, but
that doesn't mean they don't have to do their job when the job has to be done.
Very cautious, whether you're the boss or the subordinate.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful where you can be friendly.
Yeah.
But sometimes because of that power dynamic,
you just never know when it can be switched on either party to where you feel like they're treating you unfairly as the boss because you're their like friend, or or vice versa. Like, everybody else thinks you're treating them with like, they're letting them off the hook.
Exactly.
So there's an optic to it, and that's why I'm like, for me, I think definitely as a boss, like, a friendship can't really develop until something shifts. Like, we can be like super cool, and I'm gonna be here for you as your boss, and I'm gonna be caring for you. But as far as like, hey girl, what's going on? What you doing this weekend? Let's go get drunk. Like that kind of stuff. It's that's gonna get. It gets sticky. And don't get me wrong, because I have the most amazing boss there is right now.
That's great.
Like, with everything I've gone through, she's been so supportive.
That's amazing.
And made me not, because there has been a level of guilt with work with me, so don't even get me started on that. But she's helped alleviate that and let me know, like, it's okay to think about your health first. It's okay to not be okay.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what I've struggled with this whole entire thing. It's okay not to be okay.
Right.
Because I'm always like, I'm okay.
I know.
Because then now she always goes, your pitch just went higher at the end. So are you really okay?
Yeah. And
I'm like, this is like the default answer.
I know. What are you supposed to say?
It's just, I don't know. It's hard. I'm working on it, and I'm going to go through all my parts of it. But just kind of wrapping up, like I know we talked a lot about friendship, but I think it's like, I call it like the friendship conundrum, right? Because there's so many factors when it comes to friendships, because again, the relationships. You have to work on relationships, all of your relationships, whether it be like a family member, because even as a family member, like Julie and I are sisters, but we're also friends.
Of course.
We could choose to just be sisters.
Of course.
So so for me, like, friendships are delicate. I do think they should be handled with the same care as you would a romantic relationship, or a family member, especially if you want that friendship to really last and be nurtured and grow. I think I'm a person that likes to keep my circle small. Like, I don't have the energy anymore to have 15, 20 friends, right? And give them the same energy. I don't have it to give anymore. Like, back in the day when you're younger, it's like a popularity thing. It's like, I want to be liked. It's like craving being liked. So you're kind of, everybody, you want them to be your friend. So that's why I tell my friend, like, I'm like, everybody's not your friend. Some people are just acquaintances. Some people are just here for a little bit. And that's totally fine. But be careful, because they'll use you as a stepping stone, babe.
They will.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not think anything of it, too.
And literally never think about you again. So, yeah. But that's my take on friendship. Like, let's nurture our friendships. Let's grow our friendships. Let's really find the friendships that mean the most to us and nurture those.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Like I said, you want to be in friendships that... where you serve your friend, but also they are in service to you.
Sure.
Because it cannot be a one-sided relationship. Because eventually, that dynamic, when it's unbalanced, eventually
it breaks.
It breaks. So we definitely need to, and sometimes, like I said, we have seasons with certain people. When it's over, sometimes it's just good just to let it go.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it takes less stress off of you when you just go ahead and just let it go and let it be what it was.
Yeah.
And leave them in a place of, appreciation for what they were in your life, instead of, contempt. Like, I don't like you, or you did me
It doesn't
dirty.
have to be, just because you let a friendship go, it doesn't have to be a good or a bad thing. It could just be
time to let it go.
It's run its course. It's like a really great movie. It came to an end.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
And the movies have happy endings, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have friends people at work that I'm very friendly with, like we said, that I think when I go home, like, oh, I love this person. And then I'm like, wait, do I love them? Or do I just love how they make me feel?
And then maybe now you're cultivating a relationship or cultivating a friendship with them. I really like them.
Right.
So I'm going to continue on this path with them.
Even if...
Again, because like, they could be your friend, but maybe they're not going to be a friend that is a friendship that lasts 27 years
or even
you know what I mean?
Or even 2 years. Maybe it's a short.
Maybe it's 2 years. Maybe it's a few months.
Right.
Like especially at jobs.
Yeah,
people come and go.
I know.
People come and go.
Absolutely.
And you have to choose to, because even the company I just left, like I really like and enjoyed a lot of those people.
Sure.
And I would still kick it with them, talk to them. But I mean, none of us are like running to make sure that this friendship is just like, I probably have one or two that I would really want to make sure that I kept. Yeah. Other than that, like it would be more of a hey, acquaintance, I see you over there. I hope you're doing
well.
great. Yeah, kind of thing. It is what it is. Yeah. But is that your final thought on it?
Yeah, it's my final thought. It's just making me realize that it's better to have a few friends, a few really great friends, than a bunch of mediocre ones.
I would say I have like a handful of friends.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get out of here. Let you guys enjoy your Sunday. Mm-hmm. Well, your Wednesday at this point. I hope your work day was good. But we're going to get out of here because it's our Sunday as we record. And we're going to go enjoy our relaxing evening. You guys have a great rest of your week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.